Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm a rising senior at Schreiber High School in New York. My project is developing a third eye for the visually impaired with an addition of object detection. This is my fourth major milestone for the whole project and second milestone for the object detection task alone. As I said in my previous milestone video, these variables and stuff are more important for training. Batch size here is actually the number of training examples per iteration of training, and an epoch is the amount of times these iterations, the amount of times it trains through the data set that you give it. So then we have all that pre-processing stuff I talked about last video. Here's some failed models. And finally, I created a model that worked here. The first line says that I will be using a VGG16 model, which is very good for object detection. Before and up here, I ran into some issues because either my image size was wrong or the VGG16 tested for more classes than I actually have. It tests for 1,000. I only have 100. So it all got messed up. And then in here, these parameters allow me to fix these issues by declaring my own input for the training and my own output. So I gave an input of images that are 224 by 224 by 3, which I talked about before. I then froze the layers and made an output that I densed twice with ReLU and once with softmax, which finally gave me my final output. This model here is the VGG16 part of the model with convolutional 2Ds and max pooling that kind of breaks down the images and does a lot of the work with the actual training. Then this model down here shows my given input, the meat part of the sandwich, which is the VGG16, which again, just breaks down the images pretty much. And finally, the output that I made with flatten 2dense and my final softmax dense. Then I had to compile, and the formatting for my Y train was actually somewhat off and my Y test. So I had to store them in new arrays called temp and temp2, which I then used down here for the actual training. Here I added screenshots of my training sessions because it deleted on the code before, but that's fine. As you can see, the accuracy keeps going up as the loss goes down, and it reaches a high of 98% accuracy, which is really good for training of 24 different labels. But then underneath here is the testing. And this is from an old running of the code at about 70% accuracy on the testing. But again, that's pretty good for a model that trains 24 different labels, which is a pretty large amount. And as I continue to train the model, this accuracy will go up, the correct will go up, incorrect will go down, and it gets better. That is about all for the training portion of this object detection task. But what will come next in my fifth and final milestone will be proof of the model actually running on a live camera and making live guesses for the objects that it's looking at. Thank you.